Hello everybody, I am TranquElliyo, and let us continue playing Super Mario Galaxy. And you may be getting a little bit of deja vu here, seeing as I'm starting off this part exactly the same way as I did the last one, by collecting the Luigi letter. Looks like this time he stuck up a tree in Honey Hive. Oh dear. Now we'll go rescue him later, most likely somewhere near the end of this video. Because for now I want to continue work on the bedroom dome, which we worked a good chunk off last part. Completed Gusty Garden and Freeze Flame Galaxies as much as we can up to this point, leaving only the Bowser Galaxy and everyone's favourite galaxy. Yep, Dusty Dune. Well, we pretty much don't have much choice, so let's get to it, I guess. For those of you who don't know, Dusty Dune is known for having some of the more lengthy and monotonous missions in this game, and I don't think I hate this galaxy as much as other people do, at least from what I can gather. I will admit this level has some rather lengthy and somewhat uninteresting missions, which is something I'll bring up later, but for now we're going to soar on in here to Soaring on the Desert Winds, for her, and completely ignore these dry bones, which I will do for most dry bones here for the most part. There's a lot of dry bones here, and pull up a shortcut I learned from tape there, where you don't have to use the first batch of tornadoes. Yeah, I'll try and credit shortcuts if I didn't discover them myself, because I'm a nice guy like that. So, fly our way over here like a helicopter. Very much like Rayman, except instead of using our hair, we're using our arms. It was kind of weird that his head stays in place and his body and arms are what spins around. It's kind of like Mr. Fantastic in a way, with the way he's shape-shifting his body. Then again, Mario is his own breed of Mr. Fantastic, if I do say so myself, wouldn't you agree? Anyways, pressing these switches so we can get even more Starbits. Which you may as well, seeing as we will need plenty of Starbits for the Hungry Lumas coming up in the observatory, as I mentioned before. I'll be careful with the gravities on these wheels, mind you. You can kind of screw you up with the control stick and all. And then grab that question mark coin and plow our way through all these piranha plants with Pachoom! Boom! Just annihilate them all. And collect the yellow Starbits from inside those cubby holes, which kind of look like lanterns. Nice little detail. And stand on this platform to avoid the Indiana Jones death trap. You can break it like the other rocks, but you have to stay on the slope to do that, so I never usually bother. You preferably want to keep your cursor on one side when you get shot up there, so you collect more Starbits than if you shifted the cursor from side to side. Past some cacti there, and there's a lot of cacti in the background. Well, it would be being the desert level and all, but I know there's a lot of cacti in Sardinia. That's like the flat-headed kind, if you know what I'm talking about. Just put this card here and land on a tornado. You want to preferably wait so the tornado can bring you up to a good height. Just more beneficial that way. So you can get as much height as you need to go to your destination. As I will do here. And it'll elevate us up to this maze area here. I don't know how accurate it is, by the way, that the tornadoes are in the desert level, because I can tell you Sardinia was very hot and it barely ever had any breeze, which, as I mentioned before, wasn't quite used to my climate and all. Come on, that Starbits on screen. Ah well, not essential. I've got 120 Starbits already, so I'm not complaining. And that shortcut I just did there with backflipping up the ruins there, the maze area, I'm pretty sure I got that from tape as well. Allows you to cut out a good chunk of the maze area. And just break open the crystal and collect our star. And there's some planets back there in the background, which we're going to be traversing through later. Neat that you can see them now. And just getting that first star took us 4 minutes. If that's not a precursor for some of the length of missions we're going to be seeing later, I don't know what is. And Hungry Luma finally appeared outside the bedroom. And just to give you an idea of how long some of the missions are here, I can tell you that when we're done with Dusty Dune in this video, we're going to be at least 2/3 of the way through the video, at least 20 minutes in. It's crazy, some of the length of the missions here. But it has to be done. It can be done and it will be done, so let's do it. Second mission here, blasting through the sand. Probably the most memorable mission here, at least for me. That's not saying much considering it's Dusty Dune. Haha, and we're just flying here the same way we did last time and land on a platform which looks suspiciously like the one we did last time. Huh. And oh no, we're surrounded by plant heads, except we can just wait in the middle and boom! Spin when they surround us and kill them all at once. It's very cool, I would love to do it. And it's the quickest way to get rid of them as well. Hey, hey! I just want to jump on your head so I can kill you instantly and collect your star bits and continue in our merry way. Now when you land on this platform here, on the underside of it is a hungry luma, which you can feed for 20 star bits. I'm not going to right now, of course, because as I mentioned, I like to do the regular stars first and then do the secret stars afterwards. That was very close to running me over, because I just want to break open these rocks because I can, so I can get more star bits. Now it's worth mentioning that that last one is kind of desynced with the others, so you have to step back a little bit. There's a hungry luma under that platform, along with a couple of crystals which have star bits on them if you're low from the first planet, or you don't feel like breaking those rocks. Now on this planet's actually kind of memorable for me, to be honest, because it's like a circuit of sand which you've got to collect star chips on, but you've got to be careful not to miss them, of course, because having to jump against the current or doing another complete circuit is kind of time consuming. Speak from experience, of course. And now you want to grab this shell. Ideally you want to grab the shell last, after you collect the other 4 star chips that I did. So then you can use the shell on the chest, get this star chip here, and you ideally want to collect this star chip last because this is where the pull stars appear. Just saves you a little bit of time. And now on this planet, I always end up going on the orange path here, on this path. There is a green path if you go down. I don't know which way is quicker, I just end up going on the orange path for some reason. Maybe it's just because I'm used to it. Maybe it's just because it's closer when you land on that planet. Anyways, now I just got like an obstacle course of sorts here, I guess. Gotta be careful with this platform here, because if you're not used to how it moves, it can end up screwing you over. And just continue our way, just jumping around everywhere, especially through that loop there. That was kind of cool. And then just continue on, ignoring all the tornadoes and dry bones lying around. About and around, and I kind of fused them together. It was weird. And there are rocks around those tornadoes, which you of course want to avoid because you'll get hurt otherwise. And then you want to grab hand on this switch, and this will actually make the tower appear on the other side of this planet, so you can reach the star, because you can't triple jump up or something up to it, unfortunately. A little too high. But what you can do, save you a little bit of time, is triple jump up the majority of the tower, and then collect the star. The way this planet looks, by the way, is kind of interesting. It's like a basin with the spires around the side. It kind of reminds me of like the spires around it. It's kind of like fingers, and the middle is like the palm of a hand. It's like a handful of sand. I don't know, just pointing out my observations to you, as weird as they may be. But anyways, continue on back on with Dusty Dune here, and shooting stars in more disguised loading screens. Hurrah! Now head over to the 3rd regular mission here, Sun-Baked Sandcastle. Not to be confused with the sandcastle in Super Mario Sunshine and Galato Beach, of course. Ha! And there's some switches there in the preview on that planet up ahead. And there's a switch on this planet too to get us started. Oh, there's a lot of switches in Dusty Dune. Maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just coincidence, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Grab hand on this switch here and it will bring the platform up. And ideally you want to collect this question mark coin here so you can get star bits along the way, because there isn't really much to this platform. It's kind of boring as it rises up, because if you stand in one place you can pretty much avoid all of the blocks that come down, and the chicken never hits you, he just stays towards the front of the screen and tries to throw bombs on you, which always miss. And even at the end there, he wasn't paying attention to me, he was just sort of flying towards the screen. What a dumb chicken. Anyways, looks like we've got more star chips to collect here. So grab hand on the switch and it'll actually make this tower rise up. And jump on this Koopa shell here and collect it. So we can jump down here and break on the treasure chest. Oh no! I didn't want to fall down. Yeah, we managed to backflip up at least. Now the way I'm doing this is pretty much the quickest way I've found to collect all the star chips here. Man, those dry bones are practically the worst bodyguards in existence. Worse than the toads at the beginning? Who knows? I just love taking shots at them. People who don't do their jobs right. I'm so mean. What you gotta do? Yeah, we'll grab this M of Starbits back here. Very reminiscent of the one back in Honey Hive. Fly out to this next planet, and when you land on here, right away you ideally want to head right and grab onto the stump. Because this actually goes to the secret mission, but I wanted to do it now. It's my logic. It's the same logic as when I did the Gusty Garden secret mission, where I want to ideally do it first to get it out of the way, and if I do it now, good. If not, then I can come back here when I do it after I do the regular mission. Because if I try and do it after the regular mission without trying first, then I have to restart the mission, and that would be bad. And would waste time. So now you know. Anyways, rising up this tower here, and I want to stand in the switch so I can grab the attention of this bullet bill here. Hello. Hello, Billy. Break open this cage for me if you would please. Thank you. And that breaks open our star. Unfortunately, it goes onto the top of the tower. Quite bothersome. So we're gonna need to grab pound on the switch to bring the tower down. There's a rainbow star there as well, which you can break open with a cage, break open with a bullet bill. I don't know what good it would do. I don't know if destroying the dry bones would give you any star bits or anything, but I never usually bother with it, and I just collect the star. As the tower descended there as well, the dry bones did as well. Sort of got buried and shall be forgotten. A moment of silence for those dry bones, if you please. Okay, moment of silence is over. Making good progress on starbits. You have quite a very good opportunity to get starbits in these Dusty Dune levels. I guess that's one good thing you can say for the Dusty Dune missions is, as respective as they are long, you get as many starbits for it. So I guess it's worth the time. I guess. Anyways, as we head back through pretty much the same mission here, and I need something to talk about, I'm going to talk about where I am in the verses and how well I'm doing, because I've actually been doing very well. I've been usually something like top 7 in terms of stars in starbits and stuff. I've been doing very well. No, I've never actually been first for a part, because people have generally been getting more starbits than me, and being a little more over time than me, I will admit. Anyways, it's sort of like a 5-way tie for first. No, well, not exactly a tie, but it's like 5 people that have roughly the same amount of stars, and any of them could win, really. Those 5 people are me, Light Bowser, Final Chase 11, Tape, of course, and Insomniac Nintendo, who Tape seems to be getting a lot of his shortcuts from, but I'm not one to judge. I'm taking a couple of shortcuts from him, so yeah, well. Now, it should be worth mentioning that those other 4 people I just mentioned, since I've been sticking to the time of the actual verses, pretty much all of them are at least 6 minutes ahead of me. I guess that just makes me better at collecting those stars in a shorter amount of time, I guess. I guess I could be proud of that at least. So now we land back on this planet where we deviated earlier, and what you actually need to do for this star is not hit the coconuts away. I'll use this one. You want to break open the plant with a coconut, and then backflip our way into this launch star here. And yes, I've actually learned the name of it thanks to replaying Super Mario Galaxy 2 again, and I learned from the tutorial. Now we have the Pokey there, which we're going to need to kill, but there aren't actually any coconuts on that planet over there, so we need to knock some over. You know, for as much as I'm knocking Dusty Dune here, it does actually have some quite memorable moments. Yeah, well. Oh, and if I can just hit the Pokey with the coconut, there we go. Having a little trouble keeping it on the land that wasn't actually moving, and we could just mercilessly slaughter this Pokey. How does it make you feel, Pokey? Oh wait, that's right, you can't feel because I mercilessly slaughtered you. Well, how does it make you feel, Mario, for being a slaughterful, merciless killer? I don't know. He probably wouldn't answer me anyway, he's the silent protagonist. Anyways, into this tower here, we'll break into the crate, and maybe collect the starbits along the way, and to be honest, this is probably the most interesting thing that happens in the regular missions of Dusty Dune. Whoops! Just backflipping up here. This tower sinking is probably the most interesting thing that happens. So just run our way along here. Backflip up here, and then there's a moving block here. There's not really too much point to it. Oh, you need to... Ah! Thank goodness that didn't crush me. And you can't really long jump while you go through this tower, because if you try, you'll just end up long jumping into the glass walls, the glass exterior walls, and that'll slow you down, and you'll get crushed and you'll be sad. So don't do it. And now we're pretty much at the end. When you're here, you're pretty much home free. Just backflip up, way up here and collect the star. And thankfully the sand stops where it is and doesn't actually drown this chamber here and make render you unable to get the star, because that would be a real jerk move. Nintendo isn't that mean, isn't that jerky. Excuse me, burping quite a bit here. Anyways, might as well throw in a fun fact here. In one of these parts where I was spending most of the time in the bedroom dome, I actually wanted to spend the entire time in my pajamas. I wanted to record with my pajamas on, but that never ended up happening. But I guess to compensate, I am wearing my Nintendo Rehabilitation Center shirt right now. Because remember, the first step is admitting you have a problem. Yes, that is actually on the shirt. It's funny. One of my favorite shirts, actually. Anyways, now we just gotta break open, break some more skulls of these plants, I guess. They're like pokies, I guess, somewhat, but they're kind of like... they're close to cacti, but that's what pokies are based on, so... I don't know. I don't know what their official names are, of the red ones and the green ones there. Maybe they're just different variations of pokie, I don't know. And land on this platform once again, and you know what? I just feel like collecting star bits from the rocks again, because why not? You may as well collect as many star bits as you can. And of course, step back to the last one, as I mentioned before. Gives me 3 1-ups at least. Not like I plan on losing them. Mind you, there is a rainbow star under that platform there, which I didn't mention. Which, I think that's what they intend you to, or at least intend less experienced players to break open the rocks with. And get star bits. So, Mr. Luma, I will generously give you the snacky happinesses and give you my star bits. I have plenty after all. So it flies off and explodes to create another planet. Can you imagine if he actually stayed here and exploded, and I assume we'd like die in the explosion or something? Or we'd maybe just end up inside the planet? I don't know, it's probably kinda horrifying to think about it, so I'm just gonna leave that subject as it is. Put a pin in it. Boop. Anyways. And entering this planet here, we have silver stars. And it's kind of hilarious that this planet kind of symbolizes Dusty Dune, because the way the sand current moves, it's kind of slow, and you have to have a lot of patience, and yeah, very symbolic of Dusty Dune. So the path I'm going on here is probably the way you want to go if you want to collect them all as fast as possible, because the way I'm going, you barely have to take 2 passes of the... you barely have to go through 2 cycles of the sand to collect them all. And you could just collect them all like so. And the 5 silver stars here actually create a green star, our 3rd and final one, so... let's not waste any time and just actually go down the side here, which is actually slightly faster. And collect our green star. Oh, indeed. So, flying back. Yes, very nice. Very nice indeed. And we actually got that as a 60th star. Very landmark star indeed. Our last green star and the halfway point in the game in terms of collecting all the 120 stars. Very nice indeed. And by collecting the 3 power stars, we open up this green launch star here, which will take us to the Green Star Galaxies. Rather challenging galaxies which are based off the gimmicks of the game, like the manta ray and what else, like stuff like the bowling ball as well, the rolling ball. Anyways, now I came back into the bedroom dome because there is one more star I'm pretty sure we can collect here. It's the comet there, The speedy comet of Dusty Dune. To be honest, I'm not quite looking forward to this, because this is pretty much exactly the same start as the second one, except the time limit. Thankfully, it's kind of merciful in some ways, that you can do it in pretty much 3 minutes, and there are some changes on the way which are kind of nice and beneficial as well. Excuse me. And we can't skip cutscenes because this counts as a separate mission, and flying pretty much the same way as well. And here is one of the major changes, if not the only one, that on your way, you'll notice there are significantly more star bits than before. You just end up racking up a ton by the end. It's crazy. One of the best star bit grinding levels, probably third best next to stuff like Honey Climb and Sling Pod. This is probably less good in terms of that, because you spend an extra minute in the level, but it's by no means a bad star bit grinding level. It's very good, in fact. And just because I can, I'm going to break open these rocks again. Whoa. Careful with controlling myself here. Getting run over by rocks. Yeah, do I feel like breaking them open? I do. Yeah. There we go, and step a bit back for the last one. There we go. Hopefully I haven't wasted too much time there. Only a minute in here. The time is actually kind of generous as usual. So, fly our way over here. And this is where the speedrun can really screw you up, this circuit here. Because if you skip the blue star chips too often and end up having to go back for them or having to do another circuit, it's very time consuming and very annoying. Especially the one in the crystal here, if I haven't mentioned it before, because jumping and spinning to try and get back on there is probably more annoying than just getting the other star chips, because it's on a platform. So we haven't done too badly here so far. Just need to land on this platform correctly and click the star chip. And more stars, hurrah! More cool stars. Continue pulling ourselves along. Now, this is where I'd be really interested to know if the which path would actually be faster, the orange or green one, but yeah, well, made our way through that path quick enough anyways. And now just about every hole you see here where you can go to the other side, you're going to be seeing even more star bits, just enlaced with star bits. It's brilliant. I love it. Very good star bit grinding level. Whoops. As I mentioned before, that platform can kind of screw you up if you're not watching carefully enough, and just even more star bits. It's absolutely insane. Just crazy. Okay, now I just need to make sure we're not dying when we, not being careless and dying when we go over these gaps here, as I could have done there. That could have been very bad from the looks of it. And 184 star bits, I think that's where we're going to cap off here, but that's a damn low, if I do say so myself. About as much as you get in Honey Climb, I think, with a minute extra. Yeah, it's still very good in terms of star bit grinding, and see if I can make it exactly 3 minutes. That'd be cool. And well, we pretty much did, with 1 second left to spare if there was 3 minutes timer, but Nintendo isn't that stingy. So yeah, we're pretty much done with Dusty Dune until now, and this is kind of what I wanted to bring up before. Notice that pretty much nothing interesting well, not much interesting happened during the regular missions of Dusty Dune. Like, there was no bosses, there was no Silver Star collecting or something, at least not in the regular missions. There's just nothing much interesting to set it apart from other levels. Just what I wanted to bring up, and why people might not like it as much. Anyways, let's feed this hungry Luma here, since he's out here. And he keeps talking about this. They all start talking about their hunger pangs, and I didn't actually know what pang was for the longest time. I actually looked it up in the dictionary. It's a sudden sharp feeling of pain or sadness. Which begs the question why you can't just use the word pain, which most kids wouldn't understand, but I guess that's not quite E for everyone. Pang is a more E for everyone word, I guess. Yeah, well, you taught me a word at least. I've never heard of the word pang before this game. I don't think I've used it anywhere else, but anyways. Excuse me. Go into the Hungry Luma Galaxy here, Big Mouth Galaxy. The name kind of reminds me of a galaxy we're going to be coming up on later. which I like more than this galaxy. I'll be glad when we get to it, but anyways, pick up star bits along the way. The goal is to open that treasure chest there, but you can't just use the green shell, unfortunately. The green Koopa, that would just be way too easy. You should probably actually grab the green Koopa shell so you can swim quickly here, but I'm not too bothered. I'm not too fussed about swimming. Now, when you break through here, on the bottom of the sea floor here, there are star chips which you ideally want to collect. The Nintendo intends you to collect them, so you can create like a sling star or a launch star, which brings you up to the top layer of water here. But if you head straight forward and then wall jump up here, you can end up on the top layer without having to... Well, whoops. My bad. You can end up on the... Control yourself, man! On the top layer without having to make the sling star or launch star or whatever it is that it creates. So now I collect this golden shell here at the top, which is what we're going to be using to break open the chest. And when you head past this wall here, there's significantly more boos than before, but they don't really pose much of an obstruction. They're just killable. I guess it's to demonstrate the light ability that you can kill them with the light, I guess. I don't know what triggers them to appear. Like, you picking up the shell or heading on the top layer of water. I don't know. Anyways, we break open the chest, and there's a toad in here, who is going to give us our star. No, really, it's yours. Well, no duh. Unless you can do some fancy posing and walk back. Seems like nobody else can figure that out. Take this power star. I was planning to. Thank you very much, Mr. Toadman. Woohoo! And with that, we're mostly done with the bedroom dome, and mostly done with this video. There's just, pretty much, we only have time for one more star here, and that is the Luigi star, which the envelope for we picked up at the beginning of this part, in case you forget or had some short-term memory or something. Yeah, whatever. So, head back to the terrace dome, which I don't think we have been... Yes, we have been here, and like, we were here like 2 parts ago when we were rescuing Luigi back in Good Egg. I'm pretty sure that was something like 2 parts ago anyway. Anyways, head over to... This isn't Honeyclimb, this is Honey Hive. 2 similar names, almost confused me for a second there. Back to B, Mario takes flight. And turn around and click the MF Star bits, which I was actually alluding to before. Remember when I mentioned it back in Dusty Dune? There was a similar one like it, except that one was kind of taller and bigger. Stop backflipping. I want a long jump. And yeah, why not collect star bits along the way? Breaking up in the rocks will probably take a little too much time. I want to kind of make this cap this off at 29 minutes. So I love how these bugs just run away from you when you're not B Mario. It's brilliant, especially when you can drive them off the edge and make them commit suicide. It's funny. It's mildly amusing. So, you want to hold the A button, unlike tapping it like you would for gaining distance, and just completely own this B here and jump on top of Luigi, and like, I usually end up spinning into him to bring him down, but jumping on him looks good. You hate it because of that big, scary bug. Really, Luigi? I know you're terrified of boos, but are you just generally terrified in general? And if you were scared of that bug, I'd hate for you to see Bug-a-Boom. Anyways... pick up our star and end this video, shall we? Yes, Luigi, you get some glory too. So, we picked up a good chunk of stars in this video. Not as many as we have in previous parts, but you can blame Dusty Dune for that. And I've pretty much left us with only one galaxy except the Green Star Galaxies to do anything in. And that would be the Bowser Galaxy back in the Bedroom Dome, which we will start the next part with. So, I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all then.